Aren't just killed for their coats. Many are slaughtered for taxidermists who pay high prices to stuff them. Well, one animal handler from Dartmoor Wildlife Park has come up with his own novel way to teach children about the viciousness of the fur trade. Mark Chandler joins me now, and with him is Chota, a Siberian tiger cub who's becoming very used to seeing the inside of a classroom. Good evening to you both.
All right.
We can just see, it is Chota, isn't it?
Chota, yeah.
Where does the name come from, by the way?
It's a Hindustani word, and it's Chotawala, means little boy, small boy.
Ah, he's extremely fetching little animal. I can only imagine that he is extremely popular in the classroom.
Very popular. We're going around a lot of schools at the moment, doing talks on endangered species, and just explaining to them that this here could end up more or less.
We should show
like
this actually,
there.
if you can. If we can take a close look at this.
It's actually a jaguar.
There we are. That's a jaguar skin.
Yeah, and
there we are.
We don't want to show Chota too much of that.
No, might get him upset, mightn't he, about this possible future.
Just shows like what's happening in the wild.
But surely people don't. I mean, I cannot believe that in this day and age, people are prepared to buy the skin of an endangered species.
I'm afraid so. They don't realise how endangered they're becoming. If you think of every fur that's on a shop shelf, it's never ever come from a zoo or a wildlife park. It's always come from the wild. About 4 or 5 years ago now, the Dartmoor Wildlife Park started joining other people with breeding programmes. And success of our breeding programmes, we've had 18 litters up to date.
Yeah.
They sent away tigers to Pakistan, to Holland, to Ireland, to Switzerland, carry on with the breeding project. And as you can see, we're still successfly breeding. And,
yeah, he's extremely healthy. How old is he?
He's 11 weeks.
11 weeks?
11 weeks.
Good heavens, he's bigger than my son, and he's pretty large.
11 weeks and full of energy, yeah.
Ah.
So basically all it is we show the children the tiger, we do a talk on the tiger.
Oh my goodness.
And we just have a talk on the tiger and explain to them how the fur trade works, that no matter how much the fur is worth, you're still at the end of a chain of people buying it. It still originally cost 50 pence for a bullet to get the fur in the first place. So we are sort of getting through to a lot of children.
He's actually got hold of your arm there, but it doesn't seem to hurt you.
No, he's only play biting. He's saying, I want to get down.
Oh, I've not heard that.
I want to get down. Isn't it? So basically, hopefully we can carry on with the breeding project, but obviously the recession is hitting everybody and it's hitting us as well.
Well, how do the children react to him?
They love it.
Yeah. I can only say that he's actually crawling all over our computer at this point. I mean, it's much more interesting watching him than watching the...
He's fascinated, isn't it?
He loves it, yeah.
So,
do you go into details with the children of the of what's involved?
Obviously, depending on age group. Some of the age of the children, they just, old enough to talk a bit about the tiger and where he comes from, or originally comes from. But other children, obviously, we can tell them the ins and outs and the values.
Yeah.
I mean,
I ask that because if you see someone like Chota or an animal like Chota who is so affectionate and so cute looking, if you like, and then you compare that with the details of what goes on in the fur trade, it can sort of powerfully bring home the message.
I could powerfully bring home a message now. Chota here is worth a value of about 50 to 100 pounds in Britain. But if I was to destroy him here and now, because he's so young and so cuddly looking, he'd probably fetch a value of between £5,000 and £8,000 to a taxidermist.
Really?
So that gives you some idea of...
I can't imagine, though, what people do with these stuffed animals.
Well,
I mean,
look nice sat in your hall or something like that,
But you don't see that these days, do you, really?
No, but there's still a great trade going. I've actually got a friend who's a taxidermist, and he's told me what the trade's like, and as far as he's concerned, it's a very good trade going in Britain. But he works a different way.
Who buys them, though? I mean, I've never been to anyone's.
People with money. It's people with money. It's the big houses, the big establishments. As I say, the main reason we're going on and trying to pass the message around the younger generation of children is because they are going to be the people who...
And some people would actually have a tiger cub like this killed and stuffed and put in their halls.
Yeah, but they don't buy it like that. The taxidermist man just sells it to them as a killed and stuffed animal. They don't think about where it come from
Exactly, that's the point, isn't it?
Previously, it was something like this wandering around in Siberia or
I mean, this is a pretty
Russia.
gruesome subject, but I think it's one we really ought to cross. How would you kill a tiger cub like this, if you could bear in mind it's 5 o'clock in the evening?
Me personally, I wouldn't.
Or how would an illegal trader?
An illegal trader would have it captured and destroyed in the wild. They could shoot the tiger, or they even capture and inject them in the wild, and then obviously it ends up on a shop shelf or somewhere like that, which is pretty sad, but it's a message that we're trying to bring home to the children, and it's so important to us because we are running breeding programmes that we're coming as far as London now and covering the London schools. So.
And what's going to happen to Chota?
Chota, he'll finish work in schools in another couple of weeks' time because obviously he's
going to get too big, isn't he?
He's growing, and regulations require it.
How big would he be, say, in 22 weeks' time?
22 weeks' time, he's going to be nearly 3 times the size he is now, I think.
Good heavens!
Bring him back in. We'll have a look at this.
Oh, it's
You'll need a better computer.
Me now.
So it gives you some idea. So as I say, we follow around the schools in London. He'll retire, then go on to breeding programmes.
Oh, there's a bit of noise going on there. Just briefly, what sort of damage could he do to my hand if I put it in his mouth?
Not a lot. He's only playing at the moment. The noise he's making now, he's saying, I'd like to get off this lead and have a wander around your
wander around the studio.
But not in our direction, maybe.
Well, it's coming down, I think.
I think he looks like
he's seen himself on telly.
Yeah, look, that's you there. On our we have a little television in here, so
Mind
he's
your hand, Martin.
Fascinated. Oh, he'd be all right, wouldn't he? Famous last words, possibly. Who knows? Right. Sorry, we're going to do some sport now. Is that all right with you, Chota? Right.
He's a good player of ball. He's got his ball along with him today.
He's got his ball. Well, that'll be very suitable, yes.
Yeah. Well, it's actually his brother's ball. Would you like to see
his brother's ball. Well, here you are, yeah. You play the football and we'll do the sports stories. Here you are.
Oh, no.
Come back.
Heading to the...
There's nothing in there, I don't think.
the studio lights.
Come on in.
There we are. You have that... excuse me a second. There you are, Chota. You have that on there and play with that. There we are.
Chota.
Good boy. Right. Now then, we are... you with Live at 5. You can tell, can't you? Coming up, Steve Bottom over here.